predicated off of attacks from the bottom. Everything's pulling guard, snake legging, scooping from elevators, and using open guard to do it. Nobody's attacking on top. Why is that? Because everybody's abandoned wrestling for the most part, except for maybe a few guys, and except for when Gabi comes around. Then everybody has to wrestle again. And then you get a couple like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys out there who have like badass guard games, shoving on each other for 9 minutes until one finally gets a takedown and then he wins by 2. Because it is important, depending on your competition structure, and a lot of people with their grappling games have really engineered them towards, very specifically towards their competition structure, which I don't really blame them entirely because people are making money this way, right? So if my paycheck was dependent on things, certain elements of competition, I would engineer a lot of what I do there too. But once you start over-specializing with in terms of the entirety of your competition environment where you're all doing the same shit, well then you start running into these gaps where everybody's running the same game against each other. And you'll start to see some examples out there of people that they get into these stalemates essentially throughout 15, 20 minutes of match work because nobody has an antidote to this thing that they do because they're all just doing the same game. And so I'm hoping today, with my emphasis on leg locks in the top position, one, it encourages you to learn how to be on top more. Because ultimately, let's say even if you, they let people like to tout the benefits of jiu-jitsu or grappling in the street situation, if you think that being on your back is a good place to be, you're wrong. And you might see some little street fight videos of, one-on-one, but that's not typical. And what's gonna happen is someone ends up on their back and their friends stomp them into oblivion. We don't wanna be there. Better to be on top and throw people around and be in control than it is to be underneath somebody else. Plus with MMA, you don't really see a lot of work off your back anymore because people have spent more time learning how to defend it than to operate there. Because it's easier to learn how to defend it than it is to have a successful guard passing the game. Those are complex concepts, let alone even dropping it on a leg. But instead, it's kickbox on the feet, take them down, stifle on top, win the round, go back, start all over again. Maybe you knock them out in 3, maybe you don't. So as you can see, competition is gaming certain elements of the environment. And I personally think that it's best if what you can apply in the room here can be just adjusted to the competition environment needed, and then specialize as necessary. So today we're going to work our leg locks from the top. I'm glad you all are here. Let's get started. First drill we're going to do, start warming up here, is a very simple one back from the old school Shuto days and AMC thing creation where I learned this. We're just going to simply go to half guard. Scoop, post. And what I want to do is I want to step up this leg. Scoop, post, and we're going to forward spin around. Now, you have 2 options here, and either one is completely acceptable. Option 1, and this is how I learned it at first, was to basically sit and spin in a low squat, but violently, because shit's going to get up in the way, and you want to knock it around or pin it to the leg too if you have to. So I'm going to post. As soon as I'm ready to go, I come up, post, spin, and sit, and then capture the leg. But one thing I want to be careful not to do, that I don't want you guys sitting here off to the side. As you can see, already my ankle is getting a little bit off center line from finishing this knee bar. I start going here, he starts rotating away from me. See, all of a sudden now the knee starts turning. Now I do have other attacks, but now I'm doing other attacks instead of finishing my initial. And my philosophy is, if at all possible, finish with the thing that I can get fastest and first. And finish it before they have an opportunity to defend it. That means hit it hard and explosive. Do not do that to your opponents today. So we want to land on the hip here. As you finish, fall off to the side. Now my hips, my butt, everything is in line. Put the toes on the side of the head. Drive the heel up towards the ceiling and arch. Okay? That twist is important, especially if his knee is slightly rotated. I'm here and I start pulling on it, yeah, I can get it, but not when he starts fighting. He's gonna start twisting and it's gone. So, I don't like that angle. Sit up, trap that foot. Now I straighten the knee back out. Now that angle is exactly what I want it to be. From here, I'm just gonna let go, sit up, and basically end up side to side with it. Scoop your leg in, now you're half guard again. Scoop, step, forward spin, drop, knee bar. The other option you can do in terms of your entry is you can come here and slide. But try to clear your foot all the way through, because there is a danger. If you leave it behind, yes, you may knee bar, but yes, you might get toe hold it too. So if you're aware of it, that's one thing. Hey, if I only got to here and starts going for a toe hold, maybe I finish first. Maybe I figure out win that race. Maybe I start to lose it, so I have to let go and then readjust. Anything's game and A-okay if you're deliberate and you know what you leave behind and what options are available. Anyway, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, half guard. Hook, step up, spin or slide, knee bar. Okay, so we went, this was what I call a forward spin knee bar attack. And again, this is just a drill to start off with. So now we're going to transition to a similar drill, but basically we're just reversing things. We're going to go back spin leg catch. And this is something that I think you're starting to see a lot more frequently. But for us from CSW, and this is when Eric Paulson loves forward what he calls forward helicopter, reverse helicopter. He uses it in all kinds of positions. And the back spin or reverse helicopter leg catch, or to knee bar specifically, is something we've been doing forever. I mean, fucking forever. To the point that it's just surprising to us to now start seeing it. But, leg locks have been frowned upon in the jiu-jitsu community for a long time. So it's taken a while for it to become part of the new accepted program of grappling. And most grappling is jiu-jitsu derived in this day and age. So it will have a lot of influence on what you see out there. So for first, what we did was we stepped up and we spun, or we knee slid through. Now, and by the way, that forward spin attack is much easier to accomplish if they're flat on their back, or even if they're pulled up on their side some. This next one, I prefer it if they're actually on their side a bit more, because it'll give me more opportunity to bite onto the leg. Yeah, so he's got a half guard on us. We're going to posture up just a little bit, and then what we're going to do for the drill, we're just going to put our hands off to the side, on the inside of his body. From here, we're going to step, pivot, and open this leg up, capturing the knee bar. And again, our finish is going to be the same. We'll drop off, capture the toes on the side of the head toward the floor. And now, someone asked me earlier about what am I doing with my legs? I don't know, I just forget that they're there. What do I do with my legs? So I'm going to squeeze, and my main thing is emphasizing squeezing my knees together and pulling my heels in, so that his knee is stuck firm here in this position, and that by controlling the heel and the ankle up at the top, also having the longest lever in terms of applying the bar, because this is a knee bar, right, against the fulcrum, my hips, that I keep that joint exactly where I need it to be so I can apply the leverage to break it. So this is what's important to me. I know some people like to figure forward, cross their ankles, do different stuff, I guess. For me, the main thing is, if you can maintain this pinch so that rotate the knee, so that knee rotation is stopped and the knee joint is kept exactly at the angle you want it to, then it's cool. Not a lot of hard, fast rules in all this stuff, to be perfectly honest. But one of them is, if I'm trying to submit somebody, I'm attacking a limb, I need to make sure that I keep it in the position I need to apply force against the joints to make it give up. Because if it only bends, it's funny, but if it breaks, it's even funnier. So, I've also seen people catch it here at the top. This is also totally acceptable and a grip that I do enjoy. So, you can also help yourself out by dropping your head into the toes as you finish. Okay, so again, dismount, back to the half guard. Now sit up, hands on the inside. And I'm not going to sway it, flare this leg open like I'm pissing on a hydrant. I'm going to try and tuck it and spin as tight as I can so I can capture this leg. In a competition setting, you might find yourself getting here and capturing this knee. He's got his legs figure four. And the main thing is, I need to make sure that I keep this knee elevated and me on his hip. So I can work to the finish as long as I can stay bit on this leg. I can continue to work if I'm here. But if I'm attacking at this, I'm going to allow myself way too much space. And he's going to be able to maneuver his hips, and I'm going to lose it. So be it here, or even if you want to switch and sit yourself up to attack from here, both are okay. Just make sure that when you get to this leg, you get a sufficient bite on it, and you can continue to stay in good position down on the hip, below the knee. Once that knee starts getting past our hips, or past our knees, depending on the lock, now we're starting to lose it. So here I am, nice and tight. Peel it off. Heels, knees, twist, go ahead. Hold them in a good position. Part of that is also by trapping the toes and controlling the heel, it keeps them from being able to rotate because I'm pinching it in position. Dismount, reinsert, hands on the inside, and I'll even windshield wiper this foot sometimes to give myself a little bit of space. So I'm going to back spin, capture. Got it? So 1, 2. Now, it's because most of these things are fundamental movements that you're going to need and that are going to repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over again. The longer you the longer you grapple and wrestle, the more you're just going to notice that that's the way of the world in this stuff. That you get a certain amount of basic fundamental movements, and then it's just how you put them together. And they can become as complex as you want, right? But essentially they're all leveraged against the same principles because human bodies only bend so many ways. So next drill is we're going to pop the guard, boop, and we'll just do it simple here with a knee in the butt, hands on the hips or low rib cage, slide the back knee and turn the hip into it. It's just like breaking someone's grip on a waist lock when you stand up, turn your hip into it, popping it. Now what we're going to do is after we pop that grip, we're going to step up and capture it. Now, you can go ahead and grab the back of your thigh, that's A-okay. You can work to get the Achilles right off the bat, that's also okay. Also, it doesn't always have to be the top leg in this position. The drill is, this is what we're going to do. We're going to step up. As soon as that guard pops, what we're going to do is we're going to slide our knee through, turn and drop here, and enter. Nice little knee slide outside, legs on the outside, leg catch. Now, for this drill, we're going to get to here, boom, capture. I'm going to pinch my heels, again, my knees, and now I'm going to ask Angel to pull his leg out. That's how you know you have it, because you're coming with. Okay? Now we're not even going to work on the finish from here. We're just going to capture the leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine that I didn't quite get the bite I wanted, so I'll let go, clear, back to my feet, now to the other side. So I'll scoop it, sit, and in. Pull out. No, all right. I'm going to use this foot to push to help myself up. My shin on his butt. Now I'm going to capture and attack. Push, capture, and attack. Just side to side. That's it. Because ideally, if I'm fighting and this guy manages to start scooting out and hops a foot, I can come back to here and go again. And continue to go again and go again and go again. Because as the levels get higher, your initial attack is not always going to be the one that you get. Not the one you get the best bite on. Maybe you get 50%, 60%. So let's stay and continue to attack. Maybe we get to 100. All right. Knee slide, entry, outside leg catch, side to side drill. 1, 2. Ideal, where you want to get to with this drill is so that you can smoothly transition from leg to leg to leg, but in that transition, get back to your feet each time. So what you don't want to do is be able to capture and then be sitting on your butt trying to grab the leg in this case. There are times where that will be applicable, but not for this drill. Because what this drill is predicated on is, I dropped in, he starts dragging his foot out, I'm losing it, okay? Now I'm running a danger of him getting up. I don't want that. I want to get up first, so that I maintain the high ground that I'm above. And then I can transition and capture. Now, in the drill, all we're doing is sitting and sliding to the leg side each time, because we're laying on the leg to trap to the floor, which allows us a lot more pressure in terms of pinching and capturing the leg. So if I'm finishing my Achilles lock, I'll be deep on the Achilles tendon, bone to bone, I'm out, and I will drive into it. But what you see more often, for good reason, this is, I learned this from Matt Hume forever and a day ago, like probably 19 years ago. So this is his #1 leg lock, and everybody does it nowadays. Trap, pop the hip, expose the heel. You dig, you catch the heel hook, and you take it out the back. How is that accomplished? By trapping it with the body weight. So for the drill, we're trapping here. But you can also do the drill with keeping the leg high. And now you go right to your heel hook. He starts pulling his leg out. Come up. And you go right to it again. Okay, so we're going to do it that way this time. Got it? We're going to keep the leg on the high side instead of on the trap side, which is the floor. Yes, so step up, capture, and one thing to also keep in mind is to always clear. Clear anything out of the way, just so that your knee can slide through. I mean, not a lot's going to really be able to stop it too easily, but nonetheless, try to keep this gateway empty. Here, over, again, pinch, tight, pinch, pinch, get your leg back. You gotta be tight. How people lose these things is they end up too loose, their knees aren't pinched tight enough, he starts to rotate, and what happens, his knee comes past my leg. Now he's out. So I need to make sure to keep that knee, to keep myself above that knee, above my legs. Now I got it. Now I'm going to let go, shove, heist back up to my feet, transition, and capture the other side. Slide, pinch, capture. Here, pull your leg out. That's important. And then you'll do the other side, back and forth. All right, 1, 2. Both are effective attacks and entries in their own way. It all depends on your opponent and essentially what you're trying to accomplish in terms of your attacks. Maybe your digging heel hook is better than your top position heel hook, so you like to fall to that side, or maybe you prefer laying on the leg, keeping it trapped, and you have better success there than you do on the top. But one thing to help you out on the top, and with the top leg entry, it almost really just lends itself straight to a heel hook entry. That's almost, yes, you can finish Achilles locks, especially if you're competing in rule sets that don't allow heel hooks, but it really is just kind of straight to the heel hook. And one thing that can really help with that is to grab at the knee. You post, once that knee comes up, you grab at the knee, and as you're coming back, pull and twist. You see how it gives me that angle on the leg? And then from here, it exposes the heel to daylight, to which I focus trapping my lat on the toes, and then digging with my bone, the forearm bone. Now when I finish my heel hook, what I'm not going to do is go across my body, because he's just going to roll. I'm forcing him to roll with that. Now, heel hooks are finished vertically, and they're more about me putting my weight and pressure on his toes and just finishing with the heel than I am about trying to twist his heel. This is the long lever. This is the short lever. I'm going to be able to acquire a whole lot more force applying my energy against the long lever than I am against the short lever. So when I'm drilling heel hooks, I'm dropping my shoulder, my lats into the toes, and I'm rotating them towards me. Okay, so we'll keep working this drill. Step up, capture, split, and then pull the knee across. You have your heel hook. If you like, you can also go from here to your knee knot position. Now I have my heel hook, or you can just send your leg and get a tap that way. But it's up to you. And then back to my feet. And attack the other side. And if you want, sit up. Up. And notice I like to keep my leg below the knee, because that's how I'm going to start to lose it as he twists. This knee, once he gets to there, yes, I can still possibly finish it. It's going to be tough. I know there's also people that like to do this. This is also totally acceptable. Completely fine way to hook up the leg. Get to your feet. Sit, pull, open, and twist that knee. If you want to, you can also go here. Steering wheel. And when you want to go to the inside, extend, poke, sit. It's just a matter of adjusting your hips more than anything else. Capture. Finish. 1, 2. Something I just noticed with some of you folks, on a heel hook, do not try to go after it here. It's too tight. Yes, sometimes I can get it, but look at how tight I am to trying to, his foot is stuck to my side. Sit up first. Look at all the space. If I sit up, I can get a huge bite on the heel. If I lay tight to the floor, especially if I'm laying on my side, I'm just getting a piece of it. Sit up. Capture. Now when I lay back, I've got full bite. And if I'm sitting up, I could also go to here. Or I could go to here. I got all the different options. I can capture all of the heel here. Think about that little cross section. That's where my wrist bone goes. Bone to bone. Okay?
Keep working. 1, 2.
Okay, look center. Now we're going to get what's called an inside leg catch. We're going to stand up. We're going to pick the heels. And I'm sure many of you have seen this pass. The leg drag. Right? Very simple pass. A lot of people are using it, especially for MMA. Well, in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to leg drag into the outside. We're going to do an inside catch. To finish, we're going to drop, sit, pull. Now we have two options. One is knee in and heel, or sit, foot through, up, and post. This to me is stronger by far. But the other one is quicker. And sometimes there's not enough space to try and drive your foot through, which is fine. Happens. So from here, all we're going to do is capture this leg, pinch, curl our heels, put our leg up. Stand close to his hip. That's it. Now what we'll do is we'll let him start to pull his leg out. We'll come back up to our feet. Why? Because we want to be here. We want to be on top. We don't want to be on bottom. I don't want to be here, having him pulling his leg out. His knee starts to get past my leg. What's he going to do now? Come up on top and start cross-facing me off. And now I'm going to start getting hit in the face. Who knows what? And I don't have my finish. So, his knee comes past my leg. Whoop. We dismount. We unload and unlock. And now we start coming up, controlling the feet. Another reason for controlling the feet in general when playing with someone on their back is, put your feet down, get up. Get up, not sit up. Down. Get up. It's really hard to get up if I can keep his foot elevated. And that might be just all the time I need to continue to attack. Get up. Or pass and punch, what have you. I want to keep them on their back. I don't want to let them get, if I spend all this energy taking him down, boom, then he gets up. What if he spent less energy getting up than I spent taking him down? Now on our Street Fighter 2 power meter, you know, I'm in here, he's in here. All right, come back. So we're just gonna sit, we're gonna work our leg drag. We're gonna leg drag him right into our armpit, into the Achilles. Also, if I want to attack the standing Achilles lock, I need to be here so that I can apply pressure. When I sit, I'm putting the lock on as I drive in. Am I? Yes. Which makes it far more effective. That bite means it's also super tight to his legs, and when I move, he moves with me, which is important. Because as I'm drawing him in, I'm getting that bend on the leg as I finish. Try to finish on your hand. Because if I'm down here, all he has to do is just get past my foot a little bit. Now he's going to come up on top. Crap. Don't even hop the foot, just come all the way up on top. No, just reach up. Start grabbing my hands and my feet. Yeah, now I'm laying on my side and I'm kind of in a bad spot and his weight's on top of me. If I'm here, sit up. All right, I still have the high ground. Okay. I'm still above him. And if I really had to, I could let go and try to work my way back up.
John, can I ask one question? What about, are you worried about him going for your leg? Why that one?
Why would he ever fear me?
Always. Every time we attack someone's legs, they can attack yours. Playing legs is offense and defense at the same time, always. Period. No matter what. Not on knee bar. I mean, by all means, I'm fucking dead to rights, and I can just put a reverse toe hold on him. There's shit that lies in weight all the time when you're playing legs. So you know, I'll show you a drill to work to help you get more acquainted and more sensitive to playing leg locks. But even if we go ahead and transition to your heel hook position. Okay, we're both in. You know, we're always, as he's attacking, I'm attacking. But it's a bit of a race. If he gets just further enough ahead, maybe he makes it so I have to go to defense instead of offense. Maybe if his bite isn't good enough and I'm flexible enough, I'll just, you know, I'll play with that fire. But it's offense and defense all the time, every time when you're in on legs. But hopefully, like I said earlier, the thing is, when I attack, I get there fast enough and apply it quick enough, hard enough, and explosive enough that they don't get a chance to defend. I'm too busy hitting it, and they're too busy screaming. That's preferable. I call this a fake and go, or you can go leg drag to an inside leg catch. Why inside? Because when I sit, look, this foot's on the inside of my body. In the other case, it's on the outside. Inside of my body, outside of my body. Inside. Inside Achilles lock, inside heel hook. 1, 2. Look center. On your Achilles lock finish. Straight up, old school, rock style stuff. Oh, Robinson too, you know, I mean, same lineage, but Fujiwara loved this. Although Fujiwara was more elbow back, Matt Hume was elbow at 90. Whatever you can maintain tightness with. Main thing is bone to bone. That's a Fujiwara term. I'll delete it actually. My thumb, I'm going to rotate it away from my body slightly when I'm here. You feel bone? And how about now? Yeah, exactly. So, on my finish, what I'm not going to do is fall backwards and start arching. I don't really have that much power there. Instead, what I want to do is I want to put all my pressure behind the blade of this arm and drive it forward towards Karen Tran. So I'm going to start driving my hips forward towards Karen. I'm not lifting them up. I'm not arching into it. I'm sliding my hip forward and continuing to maintain this pressure position here. That's it. If you had to use both hands, even if I was here, still not going to arch. I'm going to go hips forward. Okay? But in drilling especially, you should be able to finish it with one hand. Bone to bone. Hips forward. Hi, Karen. 1, 2. Thumb, rotate away from your body somewhat. Feel that bone, the knife edge. You have a knife on your arm. Don't use the flat side, that's for spreading butter, dummy. Let's cut cheese. All right. We're going to be going to another, well actually this is even more passing specific. So, we're going to pop the guard open. We're going to step and trap, and we're going to start trying to pass guard. You can go over, under, I don't care. Here, you can knee slide. And he's going to shrimp. And he's going to recover guard. Pretty normal, right? From any pass you do, you're going to get shrimping and guard recovery. That's Jiu-Jitsu 101. If you want to, when you're playing off your back. Don't let him pass. That's 3 points. You don't want to give him 3 points. Or, also don't let him pass. In the old school variant, it's because passing leads to pinning, pinning leads to mount, mounting leads to getting punched out. Old school jiu-jitsu. Okay, we don't want to allow the pass. So, we start passing. He shrimps, and he's going to insert his knee. He's going to shrimp away. Whoop, he's going to return, gather, back to guard. slap, 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 eye, thumb in the eye, break the guard again. So, as I start to pass, when he shrimps, and he inserts this knee, that's what we're waiting for. So what I want you to do for the drill is pass the knee by, he shrimps, inserts. When the insertion happens, step up with your back leg. Okay? Now you're going to capture it. Now for me, some people can drop right back into the heel hook. I'm not flexible enough to do that. So what I'll do is I'll capture my own leg and I will grab here, pinch at the knee. Then he's inserting, I'll step up, step, bring it back to me. Then I'll transition to the heel hook. Your smaller people here, maybe even probably the women too, just having more joint flexibility, able to squish yourself into a smaller space, you might be able to actually capture the leg and heel hook all at the same time and be able to drop back in your finish. If you can though, be very, very, very careful. Because there is a tendency at times, once you've captured and you have the heel hook and you start laying back, the hold's on immediately. The last thing anybody needs is their ACL or something to go shooting off into the ceiling. Get caught up in the rafters. And Chad's got to get a ladder, he's got to borrow one from down below, a couple doors down. So you have one tall enough to get up there, and then, then he's got to get it down, and you have the W40 on it. That's all a process. So, we're going to pass. We're passing. He shoots his knee in. I'm going to pass it by. He shoots his knee in again. Step up, capture, bring it to you. Heel hook. Inside heel hook. And look, when I let go of the heel, it's still up, isn't it? And all my pressure's on his toes. Angel, by the way, is quite flexible, especially for his size. He's hypermobile. So his is what will bend in ways without tapping that most people won't. But trust me, even Angel, being hypermobile, at some point has to tap out. If you can apply the right amount of pressure and isolate the joints well enough. This is coming down, this is coming up. There's more of a scissor action than a rolling action, than a circular action. This is only moving on this plane here. This is moving on its own plane as well. Disparate from each other, which creates the lockup. Okay? Pass. They'll insert the knee, shrimping, pass the knee by, they'll shrimp again. On the second time, I want you to step up with the back leg, capture the foot, sit in your outside heel hook. Got it? Sure. 1, 2. Keep doing the same drill. I step up the back leg because I like to pinch. Between the leg and my lat, it's really easy for me. However, if you're here and you step up the inside leg, it's still accomplishable as long as this knee is above your knee. If it's below it, you got nothing. Next to nothing, anyways. But if you step up here, yes, you can still finish it as long as you can bring your leg through. But for me, I prefer my back leg. Different body types, though, can get away with doing different movements. Essentially, what we're trying to do is just isolate the leg as we're getting that pressure into us, as we're receiving it. Because we have to receive that pressure for him to shrimp and create the space, shrimp, to then put me back in guard, or to keep me from passing. There has to be pressure in the shin. So we're just taking that pressure and we're bringing it, we're giving it, we're taking it with us. That's all. For me, this is easiest. For you, you might be able to do other stuff. You might be able to even squat low enough with your knees pinched that you can capture it here. So this is the hard, fast rule that always has to be the back leg. But this is what I prefer, this is what works best for me. Got it? And if you end up with this foot coming through, that's fine. This foot, this knee, also fine. Just understand where your openings are. So if he pulls his foot off, if he pulls this foot off, okay, now I don't have his leg captured because my heel's on the floor. I'll have to find a way to get this leg back across. Similarly, if he puts his foot on the floor and hops over it, now I don't have his leg captured because the one that was overhooking is off. If I have both through, then it's a little harder for him to do that. He pulls one off, still has the other one, right? But sometimes that's just not an option. That's not an option that's viable to us, and that's okay too. Understand where the weaknesses in the way you're attacking the leg, the way you're attacking anything. Because there's only, if you do something proper, there's only so many different avenues to which you're going to escape. And if you know that, part of sometimes catching high-level people is knowing that they're going to defend in such a way because that's the way you defend it, and hopefully they defend right into the next thing and into the next thing. And once you start getting far enough ahead, now they're reacting, they're not acting. You're proactive, you're steering the ship. Sometimes I call it playing Jedi mind tricks on people. You get in side control and start attacking their face because I want their hand up. Back. And I let them roll it right up into the top bristle. But they wouldn't put it there before. If I would play this like this, I do this, like, oh, fuck that. They started fighting like mad. So I started messing with his face. He puts his hand up, now it's there. If it was MMA, hit him in the face. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, he goes to block it. There it is. Makes my job much easier. Keep working. 1, 2. He has an unbreakable guard. So, tripod up. Hands in his armpits. All right? We're going to work back into a tall position. Not even super worried if he grabs my ankles. Because what I want to do next is sit to a side and throw a leg over. And keep working towards that side as much as I can. So I'll work my way back to his knees and then pick. Hands in the armpits, tripod. If you can, go ahead, you can rock forward and come up right away. Or you can do the old heavyweight. Pick one foot out, rock back to the other foot. I tend to always go to his right leg on this one, but it's either or. As you sit, draw your heel across, pick a side. Work your way back. Now, if you keep both, that's fine. Pinch, angle, sit up if you need to, capture, heel hook. But if you start squirming and trying to pull out, you will end up here. This is also okay. Same thing. Sit up, pinch, capture. Again, vertical. Pulling it with me, not across. And this can also happen when you're tripoded up and he starts sweeping you. Oh shit, drop. Pinch, attack. No toe holds, or no heel hooks. Grab the toe hold, grab the heel steering wheel. Go take him for a ride on a hard right turn. Or even sit up, lock it fully. You could Achilles lock from here too, possibly. But heel hook is preferable because of our angle. Sit up, capture. If he does manage to extract the leg, stay so that my knee, his knee is above my knee. Got it? From here, now I can continue to attack. If he rolls, I can just stay in. Adjust my angle. I'm going to go to the fancy hookups people are doing these days with 1 foot inside. I don't do all this, but I know people that do. You can get to all this if you want to. To me, like these different figure fours on the leg, are additions to your initial entries. You can work to get better at that after you get good at just capturing the leg first. Because this is more like a finish position in terms of the leg catch than it is a base position. So that's my opinion on that. Tripod up, pick a side, extend yourself back, pick your heel up, turn an angle. Capture both legs above the knees. Sit up, capture the toes and the heel, finish. You know, for the sake of the drill, they start escaping. Keep the foot locked. Drive the bottom knee below theirs. Pinch, finish. 1, 2. Here we are again in that closed guard. So this time we're going to use one of my favorite passes of all time. Up. In the back pocket, stack and drop. So we're going to smash it forward here. Ideally what will happen is we'll get to here and we'll get them smashed here. The stack pass. For right now, I'm going to attack the leg though, because this is a whole seminar about attacking legs. So up, hips, pop, drop. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my pressure on him and I'm going to angle off towards Alyssa over here. As I do that, I pick this foot up and start sitting through. My step over toe hold. Face lock.
The collective groans is our soul scream.
Right. Up, pop. So I feel that his ankles pop forward. Stack. Now, if even in the stack, if there's any slight rotation, go to the side where the rotation exists. It'll make your job easier. His knee's already starting to go that way. Okay, slide off, but we're going forward. We're not going backwards because he's going to try and pull himself out. We're going forward and heel over. If we can trap the foot well enough, if you're a real dick, you keep it here and you just keep driving in. Hard iron sheet. If you're nice, you go to here. Oh, God. Move this. Hips forward. Pinch my knees. Forward towards Brandon, who just had a birthday today. He insists that everybody squat his butt. Yeah. Forward, step, sit tight. If you want to grab the knee and sit here and finish, that's fine. But the main thing is my weight has to be into my opponent. If I pick my weight up, he's going to start scrambling out. He's going to, now we're moving around all over the place. I need to make sure that my hip weight goes into his hips. So I'm keeping him stuck. Okay? Because if I'm not finding this here, then I'm going to at least want to capture it here and keep him stuck. And maybe attack a heel hook. Something. I'm basically I'm capturing the leg. Attacking the hip with my weight and keeping him pinned. From there, it's up to me on how I really want to finish. And if we start rolling for whatever reason, tussling and scrambling about, starting in on a leg catch so I can adjust and stay in on it as I get better at riding. That's ideal. If we can hit what we want to right off the bat, boom, capture, grab, step, that's great. Perfect. Awesome. But at the high level, it's often turned into a sprint. All right, so stack, step over, STF. 1, 2. Same idea. Stack pass. So now what you're going to do is you're going to capture, drop backwards, and draw your feet so that you end up in the knee knot position. I have your heel hook. Capture, back, turn. This leg is coming over the top. This leg is going under the far leg. Splitting, turning. Want to keep your fork? It's up to you. You want to extend your foot? It's also up to you. Sit up, capture. Heel hook, or steering wheel or toe. We're just mainly trying to get to this capture position. This is the tough part. This is the easy part. Run their guard, up, stack, capture, off to the side. And if I start to lose the knee some, grab that leg underneath. The bottom leg, make sure it gets past his knee. Sit up, now I'm in. Stack, outside leg catch to a knee knot. Okay, you're basically going to snake leg that thing in there. This is called a snake leg when it comes from the outside and winds in. Heavy. Heavy ashi. 1, 2. Another variant from this whole closed guard position. Having trouble popping this thing open. What you're going to do is you're going to stand up. You're going to run forward. Whoa. This time I just went with an outside leg catch into a heel hook. Bear crawl forward. Step over. If you can step over to this, fantastic. You go into your STF. If not, capture the leg well. Start thrashing. Start thrashing. Come on. Okay. So you make your adjustments. I can make my adjustment if I have good bite. Bite with my knees, capturing the ankle. If I got good bite, I can adjust as they move. And trust me, it's going to be a lot of adjusting to try and continue to keep your hold and get your finish. Up. And your heel hook. As you start bear crawling, your head's going to kick aside. It always does. See? That's the side, and that's the leg. Go. Find our entry. What have you? Bear crawl forward, their head. The head's going to take a side as I start putting pressure. The side their head goes to, that's the leg that comes over. Keep walking forward. Now we are leg catch. You want to go to, what is this called? Ashi leg entanglement?
Oh, it's inside Sankaku.
It's inside triangle, huh?
Yep.
And what is Ashi Garami?
It's the leg battle, the initial leg battle.
That's this one?
Yeah. Ashigarami is the first, yeah, it's the single leg battle when your foot in and you're fighting for the, that's called Ashigarami.
Leg entanglement, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I call this a knee knot, so.
Which most of them.
Yeah, I would actually call this an ashigarami because it's got the entanglement element in it, but I get where you're going with it. Makes sense. But in any case, feel it. Got it?
You got it? You got it?
Yeah, got it.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Got it.
1, 2. Here's something that's common. Sit up.
Sit up.
Yeah, you see those? Here's something that's also common. Push-ups. Burpees. How common are those? Guy playing guard like this, huh? This is a very, very typical thing, especially in sport jiu-jitsu. Most guys try not to play too much close guard. There are obviously different schools of thought and different philosophies in terms of how people are going to play their guard game. But open guard has become very, very popular in the competition scene. And for good reason. It allows more scrambling, and of course, you have your 50-50 games that they'll play. The reasons for it. I also personally prefer open guard to close guard work because, again, I like to scramble. And even as a catch guy, I try not to be here at all if I can help it. But at least here, I feel like I have more options for attacking and sweeping and off balancing people. But everybody's game is different. This game might not be your game. You might play a closed guard game, half guard game. All these things are fine. It really just depends on the person and what skill set that you have already coming in. And actually, some of it will depend on bodies. Taylor is short, stocky, compact. Might be good for him to play an open guard game, or even half guard where he's stacked up underneath people into their hips the whole time, and then just trying to balance that hip weight off to one side or the other or over the top. So we're playing against a guy and he's playing open guard, so he's probably going to want triangle butterflies or hip X or any of those variants thereof. Playing against someone with open guard is the same as if he stands up. Playing against someone when we're trying to find our takedown. Head control and hand control. I have to control where he's going to get his control points. I can't let him get head and hand control on me. I want to have head and hand control on him, right? When he's on his butt. Same thing here, but also with his legs. I'm just going to let him shoot his legs into where I don't want it to be. If he gets his legs somewhere, it's either A, I know it's coming, I allow it, or if it does happen, then I need to be aware of what opportunities are available and what dangers it takes me to. But ideally, I want to control this position. If he was inserting his leg and getting his hooks in and getting grips of some sort, well, that's the same thing as creating a setup for his takedown. Why would I want to let him do that if he's on the feet? I wouldn't. So for here, with that theory in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap the shit out of the head and stay away from his ankles. Okay, so he's scooching into me. Scooch. I was just in Italy, sorry. Scoochity scooch, right? I'm going to snap that head, boom, and circle off. He's going to keep trying to scooch in and snap. Now, what I'm looking for is a snap and an inside hook. Snap, inside hook. And I want to tilt him. Okay? He might even do that for me on his own. Because guys like to hook inside the leg with his hand. Oh, who's seen this before? Yeah. Okay? I'm going to initiate it and start it first. Snap, hammer, scooch. Attack the leg. Pinch, twist. Well, let's say it didn't end up that nice, maybe I end up here. Then I'm going to peel the knee. Attack. By the way, look at my toe hold. No thumbs, not on the tops of the toes. Knuckles line up on the outside edge. No thumb. Don't need it. Bone to bone. I twist the heel more than I push the toes. All right there? All right. Toe. Hammer the head. Bang. Keep smashing on that head. I mean, even if I'm doing this, he pulls his head up. Maybe I can help him here. Oh, what did we just get into? Right? No, not up there. Sit back up. Hammer the head, hammer the head, hammer the head. Control the feet. Hammer the head. Inside. Spin. Once he gets to about this halfway point on his side, through the gap, to his hip, pinch, pinch, twist. Now, see his foot's a little farther up than I want it to be? Well, I can make an adjustment. Better to be there than to come in here, and as he's trying to pull his leg out, end up here and start losing it. Get as deep as you can. Because figure, I get this deep in intent, and I end up, well, this deep in execution. Figure it'll be like that. And if you do end up here, no big fucking deal. If I'm trying to run a 100-yard dash, this is 80 yards. Better to then crawl 20 yards and go back to 0 and run 100 again. I don't know about you. I fucking hate running. That's why I fight. I run half marathons. Dogs chasing you? Cyborgs. No? Mad Max, maniacs? Never mind. Hammer the head. Bang, bang, bang. Inside scoop. You're rotating his head and his leg. You get to that halfway point, shoot in, leg attack. 1, 2. You can also do it this way. Inside hook. This is an open guard sweep that I learned from Roberto Leitao Sr. from Brazilian Luta Libre. Snap, he just goes, hooks inside, shifts it by, dumps them on their side. So you can do it this way, inside, inside. You can also grab inside this way. Now what starts to happen is you get to here. Hammer, hook, tilt, capture, draw, leg attack. If I went here, same thing. In all scenarios, one leg is being elevated while their head's going down. The leg gets elevated, it's free to attack. Hammer, bam, hook, scoop. There's my outside leg catch. Knee bar. Inside leg catch. Or knee bar, potentially. Play with it. 1, 2. He starts coming up. He starts trying to come after our legs. And he goes all the way with all fours. All right. So, from here, I still have a leg attack. Let's say he goes in and grabs hold of my leg. All right. Shove the head down. Put my fat on his head. Stay tight. Now I'm going to look down, and since this way, this pathway is open, especially also if his head's up on the other side, well, his head's blocking me on this side. So it only makes sense that I would go this way. I'm going to pinch with my knee, come over the top, and grab the toe hold. As I drop my knee inside, I'm going to reach up and capture. Catch the body, pinch my legs together. Pull the knee in, rotate the toe as far as it goes, and then start rotating the heel out. Be careful about crossing your bottom foot over the top. Because if he pulls on my toes, wrong way, wrong toes. Aight! There you go. Reverse toe hold. I'm getting heel hooked basically. So you gotta be careful about that. So we snapped in. Boom, we ended up here. Even if he doesn't have my leg, even if he's just all curled up, take a side, reach, capture the toes. Dive to the toe hold and bring your hips again to the hip. Let's say I end up right here. This is fine, I can still finish this. Toes are cranked, rotate the heel away. Do not put the toes in the butt. I'm actually applying a lot of pressure if he's not tapping. You get more flexible as your foot comes in. What I want to do is remove all the movement in the ankle first from the rotation. Up. There it goes. Now what I'll tend to do is pull the heel outside the line of the hip in this case. Not taking more mobility away. Because that's a straight up and down joint that I just took sideways. Now, I've got all the twist is taken out. Now it's going sideways against the joint. Now I'm going to rotate the heel away using my short arms and my body, not my hands. Hands are weak, long arms are weak, short arms are strong. Your body is strong. Okay? Even if I get here, pop, 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 pop. Tuck it, heel hook, let it shit out of it. Even if they don't tap here, they'll start rolling. He's internal or referee's position. He can have your leg or not. Go opposite the head. If his head's in the center, then it's up to you to choose which side you want to go to. And sometimes that will depend on which foot's available. So if his feet are super tucked, I don't really have anything. I'll probably go after the top foot. And I'll reach here. And then try to attack. Oh, that didn't work, but I was able to get to here. You want their foot up and available for this one. If it's not, you can tuck and roll and then attack the leg nonetheless. Part of that is capturing the hip, bringing my knees in and to his legs. Even if I'm just doing this. Look at where I'm at. I'm in on his hips. Now I can start to try and attack his leg somehow. I can make an adjustment. So I'm on the hips, or from the hips to the leg. I gotta attack the leg, I gotta attack the hips to be able to attack the leg. I gotta control the hips. Now I can attack. For now, partners, have your toes in the mat and heels up. There you go. You can have them grab a side, or hit the outside, what have you. Grab outside of the toes first. Number 2, grab the ankle itself. Or another option is you can grab the waist, but realize you're not applying the toe hold. Part of what helps me turn him is using his ankle to do it. Number 2, on the same side, as you're attacking the toe hold, slide that knee in and under. That's going to force me to hit to the floor and bring his toe over. Once we come all the way over, capture the body, both legs. When I finished hit on Gracie, I had this position and the toe hold. And he sat up, thinking I'll defend it, but I applied it. It was why I've never had anybody do it that way. I'm not surprised, it's not a typical thing. Most jiu-jitsu schools, if they teach toe holds, they don't teach it this way. So most people think that a toe hold, you can just sit up and defend it. Also, people will think, if I have no hook, then you're okay. I once had an Abu Dhabi champion sit up on me in practice like this, and I just pop. Just because I don't have you controlled with my legs, I have all that torque on your ankle. I can still apply this hold and do damage. The toe hold is kind of the double wrist lock of the feet, so to speak. You have a similar grip. So even if we ended up here, if you miss the leg, have a tight toe hold. I can still finish, I can still control. He starts trying to come up and cross face me, I can move in with this. I got something, I don't like that, I can sit up, I'm passing. Turtle position, like I said, this is also okay. Keep it here, suck it up. Stay in this sat position, finish. You can also tuck it and finish. He rolls. Readjust. Put it here. Cross. Up to you. There's all kinds of stuff we didn't go over today, like breaking the guard, back spinning into your toes here. He kicks into his own foot to stop me from doing that. Kicking the leg. And there's all kinds of entries that we could have worked for sure. The old soccer a la rolling. All kinds of stuff. But I'll leave you with this. You want to get good at leg locks, you do something called leg sparring. We'll start outside legs. 1, 2, shake hands, clap hands. Now we attack. Go for the leg finish of some sort. Somebody gets a finish. Okay. Now on the outside. 1, 2, up. You go and you fight. Someone gets a finish. Opposite on the inside. Finish. Go. And you play this game. Often it's a good one to do at the end of practice. We'll play like 5 minutes or so just in this position. And all you're trying to do is find your leg lock finishes. That's it. And you guys play from there. And if you've got competitions coming up where, let's say, no twisting leg locks, then well, you can't use a twisting leg lock. Just have to go with that. No reaping. Got to work on not reaping. Or you just make your adjustments as need be. But this is what we used to do at AMC all the time under Matt Hume. You just sit here and then you just go after it. And some days it was pretty bad. It doesn't have to be as brutal as what we used to do, where I can barely walk it on the bus after practice, but, you know, to each his own. I mean, when I train Shohei specifically, I try to do everything as hard as possible at all times. Gives that good Japanese shoot wrestling technique video, uke scream. Sounds like a death metal song. Well, deicide blast beat. But, you know, you play here, and you look for the leg locks. So, that's something you can do with your partners at the end of sessions, or let's say a little bit of time after open mat or whatever, just, hey, leg spar. Both outside, so you're gonna go both outside, hold inside, and you swap, and then you just do the reverse on each side. And these are your starting positions. And you start from here. Why? Because you don't get to start from here. Yeah, Shohei does. He's a little cheater. But this is also about focusing on bringing your knees together and acquiring the bite that you want to get the finish that you're looking for. And being aware that they're going to be attacking your legs as well. So you have to play an offense and defense at all times. Just like the answer to Taylor's question. Do you have to be aware of your legs being in danger when you're going? Yes, 100%. Leg locks are an offense. It's an offensive and defensive battle the entire time. It's not like catching an arm on someone, and they're finagling an escape against you more than likely, and then trying to reposition. The legs, you're in danger while they're in danger, and sometimes the better guy will deliberately let you think that you have a good catch on them because they're just letting you get into position to hook the living shit out of you. So hopefully you actually have that guy in your gym or gal, so that way they can do that to you and you can learn from them. And then when you step on the mats, you did all your losing in here, not out there. All right, so I really appreciate you guys all for coming today. We shot this for Scientific Wrestling, so we're going to abuse all of your likenesses. We're gonna use it for all kinds of illicit purposes and probably steal your credit card. But before that, we will offer you a special deal on the DVD itself for being here today. And that way you'll have something to reference when you're going back thinking about this stuff. Because seminars are tough. It's a lot of information on purpose, because I don't know what's going to stick. I don't know what you're going to take a bite onto hardest, right? It may only be one thing, it might be three things. Hell if I know. You know, sometimes I might throw 5, 6, 7 things out there that you already did, and I only added a little bit to it, or only showed it from a slightly different angle, which is okay too. You know, because sometimes some of the best holds I was able to create for myself or solidify was because someone took something that I already did and just showed just a little bit to it. And a lot of stuff that Billy worked with me to begin with was just minor adjustments. And I already came in working with Billy as a 2-time world champion. And you know, I've been wrestling and grappling all my life and doing catch. And Billy's like, well, that's good, that's great, do it again. And that's pretty much it. And he would just make a small adjustment here and a small adjustment there, and tilt your weight like this, rotate, pivot. And then all of a sudden, oh, I didn't think about doing it that way. I never thought about that kind of attack. I never applied the hold this way. That grip, I like that grip. I see where its benefit is. I see where this grip's benefit is. Which one do I use? Well, it really depends. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to have sensitivity towards that. But ultimately, I want you guys to be able to take at least 1 to 3 things away from this. And don't worry about what you don't remember and what you forget. Trust me, I think I would have forgotten half of this. I just showed it to you. But we're going to offer this DVD, and I hope that you guys are going to be able to pick it up and then take from it and remember these moments here. And I hopefully, whatever those few scant things that really stick to your mind are, I hope you start trying right away. And some of you guys are at schools where if you're a lower belt level and they're really hard on people about using leg lock techniques against lower belt level, or even certain leg lock techniques at all, get together on your own with your buddies. You know, if you meet new friends here, get together if possible. You know, there's open mats all over the greater LA area. You know, 10th Planet schools are great for just letting people go out there and try anything they want. You know what I mean? They're a pretty open environment. Valhalla Jiu-Jitsu in Irvine. Do you have an open mat here, Chad? Yeah, see? Chad will love it. You want, as much as you can spike each other on each other's heads, he's
There you
happy.
go.
Yeah, for real. They'll keep an ambulance out front.
It's always late, never shows up.
Yeah. But the fact is that you can find the places and the time to go and get this work in. And then go compete. Go compete, go compete, go compete. Because going live, drilling things is great. Drilling things semi-live, great. Going live, totally different story. That's the adjustments that are necessary to make it work best for you. That's what's going to come in. Thank you all for coming out today.